Hey, this is Christine, your DIY craftaholic. Welcome back if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. First of all, how have you all been doing? I hope you are staying safe. Now, this video is a part of the Refurbished Love Open Collaboration, which I will talk a little bit more about further on into the video. But without further ado, let's jump right in. DIY number one. Guys, if you are a content creator or preparing videos, you know the struggles of losing your footage and having nothing to show except for the finished product. Well, two of these DIYs in this video experienced a little bit of that. So this is a going away gift I got from a friend back home in Jamaica. It is a handcrafted frame with the Lord's Prayer. Now the outer part of the frame was showing some aged spots, so I decided to just show it some love, and that's the part of the video that got damaged. But what I did, I sanded it down with a sanding block and then dry brushed it with some chalk paint, watered down chalk paint, and so now I'll pick up from here. So I'm just starting with some embellishment. This is a small doily from a pack of 24 from the Dollar Tree. I just cut out a pie-shaped piece and lined it up on the corner. At first I thought I was going to be doing the four corners, but then I couldn't get the design to line up exactly like I wanted it, so I just settled on two corners. I then took some small pieces of painter's tape to hold down the paper in place, and then of course, guess what? I bust out my favorite plaid paint, Waverly moss. And I used a sponge dabber to dab the paint unevenly, and then just flipped to the other side and repeated the same thing. Now once I got all of that done, and in order to give it a little border, I used a small or a fine paintbrush and just use the same paint to paint on the border. Now it's time to peel away the paint. This is always the fun part for me. Look at how beautiful that is. I love it. Now I believed it needed something else, so I took the brush and just applied some small strokes to give the design a little bit more pizzazz. And I removed the napkin, as you can see, that I had placed over the glass for protection, and here it is. Now the stand at the back was a little wobbly, so I just reinforced it with a piece of craft stick that I cut down and painted that black, and then just glued that on to the back. And we're done. Now for this Refurbished Love Collaboration, it was about taking an old thrifted item or something you already have at home and just giving it some TLC for Valentine's Day. So this collaboration is being hosted by Buffy of Buffy Designs and Lon of Living Life with Lon. Now both ladies are do it on a budget savvy like myself, so make sure to check out their channels for budget friendly inspirations. I will leave their links in the description box below, as well as the link to the playlist. Now we're on to DIY number two. Now this is a ceramic vase I got from the thrift store for only $1. I love the colors as they are, but didn't like the pink and blue for this video at all. So here I'm just wiping it down with a disposable wipe, and then I sanded it down to remove some of the sheen because I was going to paint it. And here I had prepped pieces of painter's tape, which I'm going to use to cover the green sections because that is the area that I plan to keep. Then I'm going to give it a coat of Waverly white chalk paint. So now it's ready for painting. I used a broad brush because I wanted to maximize the reach of each stroke and also going in the same direction with the brush and not going in the same direction, not across nor sideways, but the same straight direction. And then for quick drying, I used my heat gun, and that's just to speed up the process. Woot, woot, woot. Here comes the fun part again, peeling away the tape. Here I'm just sanding away the areas where the paint, some of the paint came over on the green. Now wiping it down with a wipe, again, this part is optional. You don't have to do that. I just thought of doing it. And this is Christmas Chalk Couture stencil with the words Jingle All the Way, but I'm only going to be using the words all the way. Of course, with Chalk Couture stencils, you have to fuzz it for it to stick, but I didn't do that for this because the paint surface is already very chalky. And I'm using some of this green shimmer paste, which is also Chalk Couture and also in the same color scheme as my project. And I then use the squeegee to apply a small amount on just the area that I wanted to paint. Now for this part, I used one of these stencils from a pack of 16 with different sayings that I got from Amazon. And this one has a little heart on it. Now if you are interested in getting a pack of this stencil set, I'll leave the link in the description box below. Now for the heart, I started out with some of the chalk paste, but because the stencil wasn't laying flat, it didn't go on properly, so I just painted it over with some Waverly celery. And so the words read, Love All the Way. And here I just decided to keep the same theme of using the doily as a stencil. So I cut out another pie-shaped piece and stenciled on 3 designs with the Waverly Moss chalk paint. And then again, just use the same fine tip brush to outline the borders. And when it was all dry, I then applied some dishwasher safe Mod Podge. No special reason, only because it was right on hand and I just used it. And then I just added a piece of jute twine around the neck of the vase, and this was done. So now we're on to DIY number 3. Now for this one, all I have to show is this short clip and the finished product. Now this is a Kirkland's picture frame I had a few years ago and did not use. So what I did, I just applied some watered down chalk white chalk paint to the surface, to the border, and then just dry brush that with watered down antique wax to let the original design show through. And yes, that's a Christmas picture of me and my husband, and this picture is about 3 years old. And this piece, the paper that the picture is on, is the original paper from the picture frame. And because it had that red border, I chose a picture that was small enough that I could glue on and would not hide the color on the paper. And this is done. Now, if you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm honored to have you join me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget, dupes, look for less, and some occasional Dollar Tree hauls. So if DIYs on a budget is your thing and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. And if you're looking for more DIY inspiration, I suggest this video right here or this playlist. And walk good till next time. Bye.